So if you had to pick one concept from the book that was the most important, what would that be?
Yeah. Biggest thing from this book is biggest takeaway I think musicians need to find is networking. Just because you call a venue or you email a venue or something like that doesn't necessarily mean that you've got the elements lined up to get a gig. The biggest factor in anything, in any form of business, is trust. You've got to develop that level of trust and a few layers of trust before somebody's going to give you a gig. There's a, I talk about this in the book. There's a quote: "The cold call is dead." Right? Back in the day, somebody could call your house or bombard you with an ad or send you an email or something, and it would work. I mean, they could interrupt you and make that happen. Now that there's so much of that coming at us all the time, we've got to find ways to stand out. And so if musicians can start to look at a couple of things differently, is that these venues and businesses and places that aren't even necessarily music venues but have money and want some more creativity in their business or something like, I've had cell phone stores that want to throw concerts. I mean, everybody wants music or some level of more creativity of what's going on. The question is, do they know who you are? Are they willing to make a bet on who you are? Because a lot of these, especially if they're a mom and pop or somebody like that, one bad night could really hurt that business. And what can happen sometimes if you get the wrong bandits in there is not that you not only lost the money that you're paying them or the time you put it in or anything like that. You could run your regular customers off and then now you've created a deficit in the business rather than adding music, which should have been an enhancement, right? So businesses want music, but they want music from musicians that they can trust. And so what I always suggest for everybody is you need to start thinking in terms of networking. At a venue, not how do I get a gig there, but who do I need to meet so that I can build a relationship with the decision maker. And that could be a bartender, that could be anybody. You never really know who that person is. So when you go to bars in towns and things like that, the people that are playing that bar usually drink there. The people that play that restaurant often eat there. And so if you become really intentional about forming those relationships first, then going for the gig, you start to see a lot more success. Now there's some other tricks and not tricks, but tips that people can do. Most cities, no matter what the size, have a chamber of commerce or a Main Street Association or, these kind of programs that are built for networking. And not a lot of musicians participate in those. You could join your local chamber, and now all of a sudden you're in these networking events, you're with these business people. They're people that are looking for more creativity. They're looking for more things they can do to make their business stand out. And you can be that solution. And now you're in their zone and in their world, right? So now you're developing more and more layers of trust. I've got some friends that go and volunteer at different areas in their town, and they find different organizations and different causes and different things that they could be doing, because they found out that the people that give back to their city are often people who greatly benefited from their city. They've got businesses and they've got organizations, things going on, and he's not doing it to get gigs. He's doing it because he wants to give back to his city, but every time he does some kind of charitable work, he gets gigs out of it because now he's building relationships with those people around him. So just cool. Altogether, find opportunities where you can develop relationships with those people and then go for the gig. And it doesn't have to take years. It just, if you can have a level of interaction first, it way sets you apart from everybody else.